Hey folks, just wanted to give you a quick update. There's a couple of stocks that you may see showing up in your portfolios, and I want to tell you a little bit about them. So our goal is to set up a small portfolio of maybe about 7 companies, and that are small company stocks, small or micro cap stocks. And we're working on that. 2 of them showed up on the horizon, maybe 3, that we have now begun to put into your portfolios in small amounts. Eventually, we might consider, as we talk with you, how much of this portfolio you might want as a percentage of your investments. But for now, they're coming in fairly small amounts, and you may see them in your portfolio. But the kind of companies we're looking for, these represent what we're looking for. So I'm going to give you some general facts on these 2 companies. One of them is called C3.ai, and that is an artificial intelligence company, and their ticker symbol is AI. That's pretty cool, isn't it? They got that first before anybody else. So that means right there's pretty smart people. But that company was founded by Tom Siebel, and Tom Siebel, back in the late 1990s, founded an enterprise software company. He and his team grew that company to where they sold it in 2006 to Oracle for a little over $6 billion. And when that happened, then what generally that management team goes into Oracle. Now they're working for a big, more bureaucratic organization. Maybe they don't like that too well. So Tom left, and about 2 years later, in 2008, I believe it was, he started this company, C3.ai. And then over the next 1 or 2 years, maybe 3, you saw he was pulling his old executives out of Oracle and back into this new company. So then that management team has been growing and growing that company, and I'm going to imagine that Tom put a lot of his $6 billion in there to get it all started, but then comes venture capitalists and everyone else, until last year in 2020 they went public. And when they go public, they're still running the show. And but now we get to take advantage of everything that went before them. An awesome team. They just signed a big contract with Microsoft to do a lot of their AI. They just signed a contract with Adobe. Their sales are growing, and that's what we want. We want them to be able to generate more and more sales, double their sales every year if they can. We're not too concerned about profits, because what we want to make sure they have a profitable model. As long as their model is profitable, we would prefer they take their profits and throw it into more growth, more growth, more growth. So that's these companies. That's one of them. And then the second one that you'll see, some of you are starting to show up into your portfolios, is a company called Palantir. Palantir, which was, and its ticker symbol is PLTR. I always think about Planters peanuts for some reason, but PLTR, Palantir. That company was started by Peter Thiel, and also back in the late 1990s, Peter Thiel started another company, and some of you may have heard of that company. That was PayPal, and he started that company, grew it for several years, and then in, I think, mid-2000s, sold it to eBay. And then all his execs, they're all going to work for eBay, another big bureaucratic organization. They have a whole bunch of bosses. They don't like that. He starts another company. And Peter Thiel starts a company called Palantir. And that company is also an artificial intelligence company. Now, not that we're just trying to pick AI companies, but this had all the other things we wanted. And their specialty was counterterrorism. So their claim to fame, it was their artificial intelligence software that found Osama bin Laden. So now everywhere Peter Thiel goes, he has to have a bodyguard. Yikes, but it works. So then they got more government contracts, and they got some big contracts in Japan, and then they started doing more commercial work. Also, he took all of his other execs out of eBay back to his new company, Palantir. Just love having all that history. Sales growing. Last year, they also went public. And so now we have an opportunity to buy their stock, and they should have some explosive growth. That's what we're looking for. A profitable model, awesome management, proven that have done this before, and incredible sales and revenue opportunities. So now you're also going to see those stocks are going to be up and down and up and down a lot more than just the normal market, because they're small companies and they haven't figured out how to control all their quarterly press releases and all that, so they're hitting all the numbers just right. So you're going to see them, they could be down 20%, down 30%, the next quarter up 20% or 30%. They'll be up and down a lot, but we're looking for that up and eventually, woof, way up. So there you go. Just wanted to give you a little update on those two companies that some of you may now be finding in your portfolios. Great to come and visit with you and give you a little update, and I look forward to seeing you soon. See ya.